Okay. Kelim Perik Yud Mishnah Gimel, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about, and it's interesting because this sugya comes up in tomorrow's daf, or really 2 days from now's daf, but for us it will be tomorrow's daf in Zvachim. So we're talking about where you have food inside another utensil, inside, let's say, an oven, an earthenware oven, and there's tumah in there. So if it's within a utensil, then it blocks the tumah, right? Meaning, you have an oven, and in the oven you have a sheretz, and you have a thermos. You have a thermos inside with food inside in the thermos, so that seals it, so that blocks the tumah, right? So the Gemara is going through the Mishnah is going through different scenarios. Meguvas achavas hamuchucheles ve'eina nishmetes. Meguvas achavas is the cork of a barrel. Hamuchucheles, it's loose. Ve'eina nishmetes, and it doesn't, but it's not going to fall out. Rav Yehuda Omer, matzeles, that will save the any food that's in the barrel will be saved, and it will not become tummy. The Chachamim say eina matzeles. The Chachamim say that it's not matzeles, right? Because it's loose. So since it's loose, the tumah is going to get in there through the loose cork. So when you have this, looks like some caps have like not a latch, like a handle in the cap, right? So meaning it's a little hollow, so you could put your hand in and yank out the cap, right? I don't know what type of foods. I don't know what type of food. I don't know what type of
beer. One of the European beers used to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Very good. That I don't remember.
I remember the name. Maybe Aaron would realize what I'm talking.
I think some of the kegs, doesn't Heineken have a keg that has a handle like that on the top? The mini keg. Okay, whatever. Anyways, as long as Oilo understands how you base etzba shalosh shekei b'seichel. So now the thing to put your finger in to yank up the plug, to yank up the cork, is sunken into the barrel. All right. So you base etzba shalosh shekei b'seichel hasheretz b'seichel. So if the sheretz is in that hole, so chavis tamei, the whole chavis is tummy because it's in the airspace of the barrel. Hasheretz b'chavis, if the sheretz is in the barrel, achlin shebesaycha tamein, then the food that's in the hole are tummy because, also because since this handle drops within the airspace of the barrel, so therefore everything is gonna, if there's tumah inside the stopper, then it'll be then it's going to be tummy, and if it's and if there's tumah inside the barrel, it's also going to be matama, the food that's in the handle. Okay, Mishnah Dalit, hakadur. So a kadur is a ball. Va'apaka shel gemi. So it's a ball or well, they're both balls. A paka shel gemi made out of how do you call gemi? Gemi is some sort of like plastic looking natural. It's a natural growth, but it's like plastic. So then you took these things and put them on the mouth of the barrel. So now the question is, do these things, so you stuffed it in the mouth of the barrel. So now, does that make it that it will block the tumah from going in or going out? So so if you smear it from the sides, it doesn't, it won't save anything. Until you mamish, you have to seal it from the top to the bottom.
Grolsch.
Grolsch beer had that?
Yeah.
At least I know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taka? Okay, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. The same thing with a piece of clothing that you stuck into the barrel. So clothing is porous. So if you stuck it into the barrel, that's not a protection. Let's say it was a piece of paper or leather, and you tied it on there with a string. If he smeared it around on the sides, then it saves the barrel from the tumah. Mishnah, let's just do one more. If you have a barrel that it peeled, the barrel peeled, but the zephes is still there. Meaning, like, so the way I understand it, sometimes you peel an egg, and that membrane is still there, right? So here too, you peeled back the earthenware from the kli cheres, but there's still a membrane there that keeps it intact. And the same thing with jugs of fish brine that you sealed them with, I don't know exactly what that is. The article says is a gypsum, right? I don't know if that's the same as grolsch. No, gypsum. I don't know. Okay.
It's plaster. Gypsum is plaster. That's like
Gypsum is a type of
coating.
plastic.
Yeah, plaster,
yeah.
plaster.
Plaster.
Main ingredient.
I thought you were going to say those are the kosher groceries, gypsum. Yeah, but so that was for you, David. Yeah, so Rabbi Yehuda Aimer ain't no matzilin. Rabbi Yehuda says they're not matzil the
I know when to mute.
So Rabbi Yehuda Aimer ain't no matzilin. They don't save anything because it doesn't go over the top. The Chamer and Matzilin and Chacham say it doesn't have to go over the top. As long as it's sealed, meaning it doesn't have to carry over the opening. Right? Meaning it doesn't have to be a full seal. It can be, meaning the way I understand it is like when you take, I mamish have no idea if I'm correct in this understanding, but when you have a wine with the cork, so if there's a plastic on top of the cork, usually, well, I don't know, the fancy ones don't have. The Kelim has whatever they have that's corked. There's like a plastic that you have to peel off. That would be a full seal. But according to this, since the top, if you don't have that plastic, so then the cork doesn't go over the sides. Although I think in champagnes they do, right? In champagnes they go over the sides. So the champagne, I think that's what the Mishnah is saying. If it would be like a champagne cork, so then it would protect the tumah. But if it's not a champagne cork, then maybe we're choshed that the tumah somehow goes in the cracks between, even though that crack is totally solid.
The maker's mark, red things.
Spills over. Right, something like that. Right, yeah, very good, Taka. We drink maker's mark, because that's the other side.
No, it's a regular.
That's a bourbon. So we don't do bourbon. We don't do bourbon. So
What,
some do.
Who's we? No one on this year does bourbon.
I don't know.
Jesse is
Jesse's a bourbon. Jesse's
I'm right here.
Jesse's the bourbon guy.
I'm not the cop. I'm not the cop.
Jesse
I'm not
is
the
Puppy
cop.
Van Winkle. They pick him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Rambam Hilchas Tshuva. I think we're up to tests. Perek Beis Ois tests. Yeah. Eina tshuva v'lo yom kippur mechaprin ela al avera shebein adam lamakom. Tshuva and Yom Kippurim are only mechaper. On averas bein adam lamakom. Could go in misha achol davar aser. Somebody ate something treif. Oibal be'ilu asura, or he was mezana. The kayaytzeben in similar cases. Aval avera shebein adam lachavera. Could go in achayvel es chavera. Somebody who damages his friend. Or he curses his friend. He steals from him. He's not. There's no mechila forever. Until he gives to his friend what he's chayiv to, and then he also needs to be meratzim. We saw this in Shari Tshuva, meaning people think, I ripped off a guy or I did damage, so I paid him back, so all's good. No, you have to ask mechila too. Even though you paid him the money, you have to be meratze him, and you have to ask him, was he moichel? So that's very interesting. Sounds like from the Rambam. This is a big tumult in the Paiskim. In order to attain mechila, do you have to ask? Do you have to humble yourself to ask for mechila, or is the person giving mechila enough? From the Rambam's lashon here, I think it's mashma that you have to ask. Doesn't say if he's moichel. He says you have to lishol mimenu sheyimchalo. You have to ask, right? So afilu loy hiknit es chavera ele b'dvarim, and even if you didn't bother your friend only with words, right? So tzarich lefaisu lefkoya by ad sheyimchalo. You have to be mefayas him until he's moichel. Loy rotza chavera limchaloi. if the friend doesn't want to be Michael, maybe like Shura shall shalosh shloisha b'nei adam. You bring 3 people, Mereov, from the friends, and you meet him, and then you ask Mechila. If he doesn't want, maybe Shnio Shlishis. So you bring it a second and a third time. Then you could just leave him. And then the one who was not Michael, he's the one that did a chet. Right? But if you caused tsar to your teacher, right? Then and he's not Michael, you have to go back even 1,000 times. You have to go back. All right. You know, we didn't. Let's just finish this parak. Also, la'adam liyas achzari. It's also for a person to be an achzar. How do you say achzar again? How do you say it? Cruel, right? V'lo yitfas ela yehenoyach lirtzos. Meaning, don't lo yispayas. He shouldn't. I'm sorry. Also, la'adam liyas achzari v'lo yispayas. It's also for a person to be an achzari and not to be appeased. It should be easy to give in to people, and it should be difficult for you to get angry. Be Michael with leif shalom. Even if he caused you a lot of tsar, all right, you should not be over on taking revenge. And that is the derech of Yidden. Goyim who are reilim in their hearts, they're not like this. Ella v'avrasa and shamra netzach, their anger and their whatever, their tainas, they hold on to it forever. The Gevainim, the Nesinim, that's what we discussed yesterday's daf, they were never appeased. Yud Aleph, so somebody did a chet from his friend. And the friend died before he could ask Mechila. So maybe Asar b'nei Adam, you bring 10 people, Mamidon al Kivroi, and you stand on his grave, Yomer b'fneim chatasi l'Hashem elikei Yisrael, b'lefloini zeh, shekaf kach asisi lo. And if he owed him money, you give it to the Yarshim. If you don't have any idea who the Yarshim were, you're in based in, then leave it in Bezdin v'Yisvada, and then he should do vidui. Right? Okay, that is then the Perek base.